Hey guys, back at the Super Fountain project, and I want to show you guys what I've got going on. So I've got a full test stand of the steering system hooked up, and I want to make sure I'm seeing everything. And the outdrives are not connected to the engines because they don't have to, but here are the outdrives, the Mercury M8. Latham Marine sent me a autopilot valve. I've been talking to Latham for a couple months about their systems they use for steering. And let me tell you, Latham has been in the business for years. They've been doing this forever. So they make the hardware in order to make these systems work. But what we're going to do, we're going to put autopilot in a boat that is capable of well over 100 miles an hour, obviously. Now, Raymarine has not tested their autopilot system over 100 miles an hour, so we're going to put that to the test. That's one of the ideas of what we're doing here with Raymarine, and they have sent me. We've already got the chart plotter. They're 9-inch. This is going to the pilot side. We have other chart plotters on order, but they've sent me the augmented reality system, sonars, cameras, all kinds of stuff that we're going to utilize on the race boat for the Ocean Cup series. And really, we've been back and forth on talking to a lot of different companies on how we're going to control the autopilot system. And this is really important because the autopilot system, when it's in use, is really navigating the boat. So we want to be able to have the most responsive autopilot that money can make. And luckily, Latham sent me a brand new autopilot valve in the mail this week. How about that? So we're going to test their product. I got a test stand. Drives aren't hooked up, but I got my pumps. These are my steering pumps. They're going to power the steering system up. And this is actually what we're working the boat too. We've got some different, though they'll actually be mounted differently, but the steering helm, which is on the steering cockpit, in the steering cockpit. And this is new. This is my side. This is the steering valve on my side. It'll allow left and right actuation of the outdrives on my side, which I've never had before. I've always thought in a race boat that runs over 120, 130, 140 miles an hour, you need to be able to have both people having access to the steering. And we have this now working in the test stand. This valve takes over from the steering helm, and I can correct the pilot in left or right at the same time they're utilizing the steering wheel and trying to move the steering wheel. Now, the third factor to all this is the autopilot valve. And let's say we have autopilot running during an Ocean Cup race. I want to be able to utilize the chart plotting and the augmented reality and all their systems, all Raymarine systems, to make the boat fastest point A to point B using those systems. But we also got to have all the right hardware in the boat. Now, Raymarine doesn't make the autopilot valve, the actual steering system. You can use, I think there's C-Tech, there's several different types of steering that go on boats, and that can actually get really confusing, can be a whole nother video. But for this video, we're just showing the speed of this autopilot valve in relation to the speed of these valves, my steering valve on my side and the steering valve on the pilot side. Now, let's just go ahead and power everything up, and I'll show you the speed at which they move. So, this is the pilot. This is the pilot of the boat. They'll move the helm. Now, if you look right here, this right here is the rudder reference on the chart plotter. Now, we also have the rudder reference up there. Now, Raymarine is really cool. They have already they have all cast on their chart plotters. You can cast the screen to another TV. So this is a 65-inch Samsung I have up here above us for the testing of the engines. You can also see the rudder reference up here, which we'll be able to see. So, but I'm going to take you down here and show you the bottom of the, you can see the skegs of the outdrives right here and right here. Now watch, when I turn this helm, they move fast. They move as fast as the steering wheel. What's the rudder reference up there? Now watch it on my side. This will be the steering valve. Now, I don't know if you can see it. You point to it right there. Now watch this. Now, Tom, just for reference, I've already clocked it. This one is about 4.6 seconds lock to lock. This one is not much more, maybe 5 seconds lock to lock. So not really any change from helm to helm. However, if you watch the steering valve, the autopilot valve, look how slow that is. And I've got it turned all the way out. I mean, this is the pressure or the flow control. I've got it turned all the way out. And if you turn it in, let's say you hit the bottom of it, it won't even move. And that's not even the bottom of it. You have to turn this thing all the way out to get these drives to move. You see that? So it takes 13.46 seconds lock to lock for this autopilot valve to move the drives left to right. 5 seconds for the steering helm. Four and a half seconds for the control helm. So what do we need to do to change the speed of the autopilot valve? Because this can really be crucial in this boat running over 100 miles an hour for the autopilot valve to be as quick as possible. I mean, it has to respond to computer response, I mean, as fast as possible. I know from aircraft, from my experience, the autopilot system can run as fast as a pilot can, and really it has to. But this is just not doing it. It's over over two times twice the time to move lock to lock. So, Tom, thanks for sending me the autopilot valve, man. I appreciate that, guys. I wasn't expecting it, but really, what would we have to do to get that autopilot valve to move left to right as fast as the helm is, the steering helm, both steering helms? And I know we're utilizing 8 gallons per minute with the power steering pumps. I don't know the pressure yet. I had to order a pressure gauge today. I can put a good, but pressure doesn't relate to flow. And I'm wondering, is the flow of that valve just not strong enough? Now you'll see, I do have these T's here, but I can change them. I do have another set of T's that would be different. I can change them to these T's that would go through more. But I'm just curious. What can we do to speed that up? This has just been a little test on the stand. Engine's not running, just the steering system. Kind of a little fun test because you get to run the whole steering without it. I wish we'd been able to do this years ago. I should have been doing this years ago. So anyway, so I'll call you later. Thanks, Tom.